Hi guys, it's Stephanie. It's Monday, June 20th. And yes, so I just got out of work and it just started raining, but it looks like it's going to be just sun showers. It's not going to last very long. So it's always nice when the time to go home comes around. My favorite part of the day. So anyways, I want to discuss something that affects all of us. That's right. Anything that involves money affects all of us. Because we all have goals and plans for our money, whether it's to set aside for retirement or increasing your contribution on your 401k or your IRA. The economy affects all of it. So, as you know, I've been raving all year about my little ideas. But before I get on to this, I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers and to those just visiting my channel. If you find something that resonates with you guys, please consider to hit my subscribe key, and I appreciate it so much because your subscription, which is free, goes to support my channel, my quirky ways, and my simple life. Talk to you guys soon. So anyways, this has to do with the plans that I've been discussing. And why is it that I'm always going back and forth on these plans? I get all excited of what I'm going to do. Like, for example, I said in my last couple of videos that I'll be purchasing that school or that Ford E450, and then I cancel on myself. Well, guess what? The economy is like a yo-yo, okay? So because the economy is like a yo-yo, it causes people to switch back and forth, yes and no. Okay? And you know how it is. You create a budget and you commit to a savings plan, and when you're ready to purchase or make that move, the economy does a switch. And you start hearing about how the airline carriers are decreasing their flights or decreasing how many planes are going to be flying. With the gas prices being the way they are, you can sure believe that that also affects the economy, because we have all the trucking and the shipping and the flying. FedEx uses airplanes. They use semis. They use trucks. They contribute to our economy and the cost of fuel. Well, guess what? It affects you and it affects me. So when you hear about our president blaming Putin for all this, I think politics in general affects our economy in big ways. They affect the stock market, the New York Stock Exchange, S&P 500, you name it. It's affected all around. And then you get this domino effect that comes from all the way up there to little people like us. So, how does that affect me? I'm still saving money because I'm working a part-time job and also a full-time job. In how it affects me is this. I work with 185 employees. All their finances and their planning for the future is affected. So last week, my company started reducing hours. Now, they're not taking a lot of hours from me, but they're taking an hour and a half every week. An hour and a half every week. You might say, oh, it could be a lot worse, Stephanie. Well, yeah, it could be a lot worse. An hour and a half a week times 4 times 12 months. That's $2,000 a year they're taking out of my check every single year. So Lowe's has about 30,000 employees. Do the math. Okay? So $2,000 a year times 30 plus thousand employees. That's what they're cutting down. So between 30 and 35,000 employees every year, on average of between 1,500 to 2,500 a year. That's millions and millions of dollars. So whatever plans these 35,000 people have that work for Lowe's, you can bet they're changing, because a lot of them had to do with traveling. Okay, even if they don't fly, well, guess what? The airlines just cut back on their schedules. Okay, the truckers for shipping are cutting back. Amazon is going to cut back because your economy sucks. So that's got me thinking, should I go ahead and make a purchase? Should I buy that land? I think the only thing that makes any sense, if you have money to purchase a lot, then that's not a bad thing, because land or lots are not being made. Okay? Some form of real estate you don't take a hit on. They just sit there and the economy doesn't affect it. A piece of land or acreage is not affected. Okay? But a home would. The housing market will go down. I don't think a piece of land is going to go down. The price, the cost of the land is not going to go down. They just leave it alone. That's the only thing right now that makes sense for me to do. So I'm going to take that money that I saved up to buy that bus for my little project, and I'm going to stick it in the bank and keep building on it. So around next year, around this time, I'm still going to purchase my land. okay? Because if something happens drastically and I can't build a little affordable home on it, guess what? I'm only going to sell the land and get my money back and then some. So that's what I want to talk about. And there it is. So what else is happening with me? Not much other than that. Yesterday I worked at the yacht club. I only had to work 3.5 hours because it was Father's Day. Okay, Father's Day was yesterday, and I didn't call my parents because they're all the way in Europe, and whenever they go back to Europe, their phone number is always changing. They don't have a steady number. So I didn't get to talk with them. I wish them the best of luck. I love them. And they're doing what makes them happy, and so I got to do what makes me happy. So yesterday, when I was at the yacht club, I took home a lot of food that they would have otherwise threw away in the trash. Okay, I bought a full container of baked salmon. Okay, with baked salmon, and a big container of Greek salad and some sweets. Now, I had my supper at work. Last night I thought about this. I said, I'm gaining weight because I'm having supper at work, and even though I'm busy on my feet at the yacht club, depending what you're eating, you're still going to pack on the weight. So at work, I had my supper, my meal, small meal, at about 9 this morning. And for breakfast, all I had was a shake. Right now, I'm starving. But I'm just going to go home and have a little bit of salad and some tuna fish I made with egg whites. That's my supper for today. And later this evening, guess what I'm going to have? I'm going to have some yogurt. That's right, yogurt. Because one way or the other, I'm going to take off that weight that I put on by eating late. How are you guys managing your weight? Do you guys watch what you eat? Am I the only one who's going to watch what I eat? I don't know. So, I have the rest of the evening off. Okay? I don't have any plans on going out. My fuel gauge is between a half a tank and 3/4 of a tank full. Okay? So another drop, I'll be at a half tank. But I'm probably not going to need to get gas for the next couple of days because I don't have no plans on going anyplace. And I also have tomorrow evening off when I get out of my full-time job. So I'm going to chill out at home. I'm going to have a nice little healthy meal. And last night, I started watching a movie with Nicole Kidman in Cold Mountain. I started watching it. I saved it where it is. And I'm going to get really comfortable, take off these shoes, and chill out. So I hope you guys can take away something from my savings program and my comment on the economy, how it's affecting us. It's affecting us, and I don't think we've seen the worst of it. Okay, I think we're going to have a recession. Okay, the war in Ukraine is affecting us, and because we're also supplying them with our military stuff, our armaments. Well, a lot of the NATO countries are helping them, are assisting them, and we're totally going against what Putin wants. But if you were the president of the free world, wouldn't you be helping Ukraine? Sure we would. We have Ukraine Americans who live in Canada and who live in other parts of Europe and who live here. Okay? What kind of example would we set for them if we didn't support their country? Okay? So what they're doing right now with Russia is a good thing. We can't be putting up with a bully Russian president. I used to think at one time that Putin was actually a good guy. After all, if he was a bad guy, would he go to visit the Bushes in Crawford, Texas? Would he? I don't know. He's been to the U.S. several times. I don't agree with what he's doing in Ukraine, attacking a defenseless country. They're not defenseless anymore, but they were. So that's today's video. Very simple, coming from a simple woman, uncomplicated. Okay? All I want to do is I want to hope and pray, not much of a praying person, and pray that our economy turns around. That our economy turns around. That this baloney with the COVID that we're experiencing, still experiencing, stops. Okay? That we really keep creating more work. Okay? And they find a way to lower the gas prices, because that's affecting us. If people are paying out of their nose at the pump, that's taking money out of other areas that they would have had to do a little more with their money. There are people who want to buy homes. There are people who need to buy a vehicle. You know, there are people who want to go on vacation with their family and stimulate the economy. When you stop traveling and stop doing things that you do, you quit stimulating the economy, and the economy becomes stagnant, and there's no growth. Production stops. Okay? It's like I said, it's a big domino effect that affects every aspect of our life. Look what happened when we had the COVID. The supply and demand just stopped. People are fighting for a pack of meat. They're fighting for a roll of toilet paper. That's ridiculous. We can't afford that. We can't afford that. I'm now having to take all that money I saved and stick it in my savings. I could have used it to stimulate the economy, but now I can't. I gotta watch my spending. But I hope you guys are having a nice day, and I'll be talking to you guys very, very soon.